Video games are very careful to appeal to most audiences, at least recently. Developers want to draw as many players as possible, so that makes sense. The gaming market is completely saturated with products that don't do anything too crazy. They stick to mechanics and stories that most players would enjoy and feel comfortable with so that the game sells well. This is partially why long-running franchises such as Call of Duty, for example, are so successful. Activision keeps those games simple when it comes to gameplay. Find the enemy and shoot them. There isn't much thought that goes into that. Everyone understands that objective, even your 6-year-old little brother. The story for those games also don't go for anything outside comfortability. Good is generically good, and evil is portrayed as a Hollywood sort of evil. Evil enough to understand how bad the antagonists are, but not enough to make you uncomfortable. These developers and publishers want you to be in a fantasy. The graphics may even look like reality, but the scenarios certainly aren't reminiscent of that. If a game decides to base its scenarios realistically on human nature or current political climates, it pretty much instantly becomes controversial. People don't usually like seeing reality in their video games. They're uncomfortable with the truth and with being shown more true-to-life scenarios. People use games as a way to escape reality. We're going to talk about a game, though, that defies those presets, a game that makes you deal with realistic and dark scenarios, a game that forces you to think and observe before you pull the trigger, a game that was teased way back in 2017.
Emergency.
On May 3rd, 2017, Void Interactive released a teaser for an upcoming SWAT game named Ready or Not, reportedly a spiritual successor to the popular SWAT 4. To catch up on that game, check out my Golden Age of Tactical Shooters video essay. The teaser displayed SWAT officers being deployed to dark scenarios. The tactical shooter community was ecstatic. They hadn't seen a game that did things like this since SWAT 4 back in 2005. Years later, on March 7th, 2019, the team finally released a trailer depicting gameplay of players breaching rooms, arresting suspects, and using many other tools to their tactical advantage, even saying that they were partnering with law enforcement to make the game as realistic as possible. The trailer garnered quite the attention, surpassing 1 million views. A PvP alpha was released soon after, but it was left to be desired. The community was begging for the cooperative experience that they were promised in the gameplay trailer. Void Interactive went silent for almost a year, to people's dismay. People had just about given up hope that the game would ever be officially released. Then, on December 5th, 2020, Void Interactive suddenly released the co-op mode for Supporter Edition buyers, later releasing it to all buyers on the 17th. The game blew up on Steam, quickly becoming a top seller. Even after 7 months of being on the store page, it still holds the top seller achievement. I waited this long to make a deep dive into this game because I wanted the developers to have a solid base. After the recent June update, I feel like this game has a firm standing and is more than a simple alpha or beta release. In this deep dive, I'll be focusing on single player and co-op simultaneously, so let's not waste any more time and dive into this game, getting into the nitty-gritty, which this game certainly doesn't shy away from. Welcome to Ready or Not. Ready or Not envisions America on a dramatic decline. Crime is at an all-time high, running rampant across the country. The game places you as a SWAT officer in the fictional city of Los Sueños. Your task is to bring some semblance of law and order to a city being rapidly taken over by violence. Ready or Not drops you into dark and uncomfortable scenarios, similar to what actual SWAT teams have to deal with. The world is littered with environmental storytelling, giving you bits and pieces to put together yourself, teaching you that this world is cruel and unforgiving. You'll travel between gas stations, hotels, meth houses, car dealerships, and more as you uncover a city completely overrun with drug dealers, human traffickers, criminals, and corruption. You'll encounter foolish teenagers, panicking staff, armed gang members, and grisly aftermaths. You'll have to deal with bomb defusals, hostage rescues, raids, and active shooters. Time is of the essence if a gunman is running rampant or if a bomb is undiscovered and ticking away. Innocent lives are at stake. Your foe is very intelligent and very lethal. When hearing SWAT shoot, shout, or toss items, suspects will run to take cover or hide to get an advantage of surprise on an unsuspecting player.
Get on the ground now! Drop your weapons! Suspect DOA.
This includes taking refuge under beds, counters, in closets, and in other crevices. Suspects aren't limited to shooting either. They may pull out knives to stab you or use their rifle or pistol as a melee weapon to momentarily stun you. Even on surrender, suspects can fake you out and pull out a weapon to catch you unawares.
Suspect killed.
Among the armed suspects are innocent civilians, so don't shoot too carelessly. Emotions are high and adrenaline is pumping, so plans can easily go awry if a civilian decides to run at you for safety or run away in confusion. Due to constantly changing circumstances, you have to be on guard. Ready or Not gives you a lobby to practice your reactions and skills, as well as test out your tools before you are deployed to a situation. Here, you are given the option to customize your personnel, choosing between vests, armor, and headgear. Deploying into a dark area and flashlights don't cut it, night vision goggles and infrared lasers turn you into a deadly accurate foe to be reckoned with. Heavier armor may slow you down and leave you less room to carry tools, but could also save your life by taking a couple extra bullets. Want to carry more throwables? Consider sacrificing a few magazines from your weapons. Speaking of which, Ready or Not gives you plenty of armaments to choose from, including rifles, submachine guns, pistols, and shotguns. Do you want to carry something compact that has the stopping power of a rifle? Try the AR-N18. Want something that doesn't have too much of a kick? Give the MPX or the MP5A4 a go. If you're planning to go put down suspects quickly and aggressively, the B1301 does wonders. All these weapons can be customized to your heart's content, with sights, mags, flashlights, lasers, barrel attachments, and grips. Ready or Not also gives you the option to choose what types of ammo you're taking onto the battlefield. Careful with armor-piercing rounds though. Sure, they can pass through a wall or object to hit the enemy, but they also can pass through all of those to hit an innocent too. Lethal doesn't always have to be the answer though. Ready or Not gives you plenty of tools to lower the opposition's morale, such as tasers, beanbag shotguns, pepperball rifles, and pepper spray. Looking for more of a defensive tool? Try the ballistic shield. It stops most rounds and can protect your team in those tense moments of having to funnel through a door. Not all doors are safe or easy to get through. Enemies can lock doors, as well as set traps for the SWAT officer that doesn't bother to look. Make sure to check every door before entering and to cut any wires you see across the bottom of any door frame, or your whole team could pay the price for it. For extra safety, equip the mirror gun to get a peek at what lies beyond the entrance. The door you're trying to enter isn't budging? Equip a breaching shotgun and force it open.
Police, put your hands up!
A couple kicks or a battering ram will do the trick too. But if you want a more subtle approach, the lockpick tool or the lockpick gun will suffice. If you want a really loud and disorienting entrance, apply C2 and detonate it. People across the room will become dizzy from the loud noise and blast. Just be careful, as there could be an innocent or suspect directly on the other side. C2 is very lethal when someone is right in front of the explosion.
We'll take care of it.
Readying flashbang.
Are you looking to disorient the room's occupants before entering? Stingers, flashbangs, and gas grenades are your best friends. Try peeking open a door and tossing one of those into the room so that you don't have to expose yourself to a hostile. Don't use gas unless you have a gas mask with an air filter equipped though, or you'll disorient yourself too. Do you want to unleash a throwable item far and quickly? The M320 will get the job done. The M32A1 rotary launcher will also do the trick in a pinch. When engaging suspects or civilians, make sure to keep an eye on all their movements. Follow the rules of engagement. Shouting for compliance is a necessity, but if a suspect refuses to listen, aims a weapon at you, or runs in your direction, you are free to engage. Once a suspect or innocent surrenders, cuff them as soon as you're in the clear. You never know what they could pull out to attack you.
I'm not going anywhere.
I know you've been through a lot, but I've got to do this. It's my job.
Are they sitting in a fatal funnel? Pick them up and move them to a safer spot where stray bullets are less likely to come in contact with them. You're pretty sure you down a suspect? Handcuff them. They could be playing dead. On occasion, a civilian or a suspect may have a bomb vest strapped on. Shooting an innocent with a bomb vest will cause the vest to go off, so be extra careful around them. A suspect with a vest, on the other hand, will charge you and detonate it unless you take them out first. Make sure to pie every corner and check every nook and cranny. Suspects and civilians alike love to hide and make your job difficult. Don't forget to take cover during a firefight. One bullet in the right spot can put you down. Suspects will drop their weapons on surrender, death, or fake death. You'd better secure those. Somebody else could pick them up and use them on you. Remember to report everything to Tactical Operations Command, otherwise known as TOC.
Wounded civilians stable and prepped.
They'll be tracking your progress as you make your way through the area to give you your score when you finish. The goal of Ready or Not is to put you in the shoes of a SWAT officer and have you tackle dangerous scenarios in a grim world that doesn't hesitate to show you how twisted people can be. One wrong move can cost you and your team's lives. Being too quick to pull the trigger can end an innocent life or break rules of engagement, causing your score to suffer. While being too slow can give enough time for a gunman to shoot up a gas station or a bomb to explode in a hotel. A game like this goes against the predetermined values of AAA video game titles, due to the subject matter being controversial or the gameplay being too punishing. There are plenty of articles complaining that Ready or Not is too real and delves too deep into controversial topics. Despite all this, Ready or Not continues to steal the top seller category on Steam. Maybe it's time for AAA studios to branch out and bring a level of realism to their games instead of playing it so safe. Doing this can force players to appreciate the real thing.